Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to go over some basic effects, specifically how to apply effect on your clip. So let's dive in here, and the first thing is, where are the effects? So if you go to the project window, there's multiple tabs in the project window, and you can move over. You can kind of see it right there on mine. If for whatever reason you cannot see it, click on these double arrows and you'll see a little menu here that shows you the tabs, and I'm going to go ahead and select effects. And there it is, and this is where all the effects are being housed here. And really, and also what's really cool is you can go ahead and search for effect, right? So if you're new to this window, go ahead and just kind of like look around and find different kinds of effects. Blurs are very popular and very simple to use. But if you know the name of a specific effect, you can type in, like, for instance, blur, and that will appear. It'll open up those folders with all the blur effects. For what we're trying to accomplish, and we're not here really to make pretty images, I'm just here to show you how to do it. I'm going to use the Gaussian blur just because it's one of the simpler ones right there. And one of the things you can do is you can click, hold, and drag an effect and make sure that you drop it into the center of a clip. Or if you have the clip selected, which I'm going to go ahead and do, I've got the clip selected, you can go ahead and double click the icon on the Gaussian blur, and it's going to go ahead and place it on the image. As you can see here, it's already taking into effect here. Now, not only that, if you have the clip selected, it will also show the Gaussian blur in the effect controls, because again, because we place the effect, the Gaussian blur, on the clip, when we have that clip selected, the effect controls will show. It's context sensitive, so it will know that you have the effect on that clip. And what's nice about the effect controls is now it allows me to change the parameters if I wanted to, let's say, lessen the blur because it's a little too much, right? Let's say I want to just do an 8 instead of like what it was before. Now you can also animate effects, just as I showed you in my other previous video, how to animate these parameters up here, the basic controls, motions. You can go ahead and do the same with any effect. So if I were to, let's start here. I'm going to toggle animation, which then sets the keyframe in place. Let's start with the 0 Gaussian blur. So basically none of the effect is taking place. If I were to go forward a little bit, and let's just type in 30 here and then go back to here and then 0 there, and I'm just going to continue to move the playhead forward and make this one 30. So now we're going to go from 0 to 30 to 0 to 30. It's going to basically go from not being blurry to blurry, not being blurry to blurry. Here we go. There it is, where it's blurry, and then it's not blurry, and it's blurry again. All right, so that shows you the ability to animate parameters, animate effects. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is the order of effects and how that's important. So if I were to take a different effect, let's cancel out blur here and look for video effects manually. I'm going to go ahead and look for stylize, and let's change to mosaic here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click mosaic. It should populate it underneath Gaussian blur here. Let me see. There it is. Okay, so there's the mosaic here, and I'm going to change a parameter here. Again, this isn't to go through every single effect with all the different parameters. There's some experimentation that's going to have to happen. So feel free to just try different effects, apply different parameters, change it out here. Let's do, for mosaic, what I want to do is I want to make these tiles a little bit larger. So I'm going to minimize the number of tiles on the screen. So let's do like 15 here and enter. So there we go. Let's do even more. Let's do like 5. Let's just make it really dramatic. There we go. So there's the mosaic, right? And so now what's going on is, first it's applying the Gaussian blur, and then second it's going to apply the mosaic. So it goes in order from top to bottom, and whatever's top is going to be the applied effect first. Let's go ahead and switch it. I'm going to go ahead and just simply click, hold, and drag, and I'm go ahead and wait for that blue line to indicate that I'm going to drop the mosaic above the Gaussian blur, and I'm going to drop it in. And let's see if that changes the image. slightly. You could kind of see the mosaic happening a little bit, but you're seeing that it's happening a little bit differently than when the mosaic was underneath the Gaussian blur. So the point is that the order of your effects is going to change the outcome of the image. So keep that in mind when you are placing effects. And again, try different things out if it's required to be applied. Again, in context of what this project is, I generally won't need to do like a mosaic or Gaussian blur, but for other projects, you might need these kinds of effects. All right, so that's really it when it comes to placing effects on the timeline, on the clip itself. Now, if I were to, let's say, have multiple clips, and let's say I just really love what I did here with the effect of the mosaic, just kind of gnarly here. So actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go bring the mosaic underneath the Gaussian blur back to where it was. There we go. So, and what I want to do here is I want to show you that you can copy and paste effects onto multiple clips on the timeline. So for instance, if I were to zoom out here, and let's say I wanted to place it all on here, one cool thing is there's a couple ways to do it. Let me show you one way, is you can actually dive in and grab whatever effect you want. Let's say I want to grab both the Gaussian blur and the mosaic. I'm going to click on the Gaussian blur. I'm going to hold down Command. I'm going to click on mosaic, and I'm going to hit Command C, and I can simply highlight any clips that I want to affect. Let's say these 3 clips, and I hit Command V. It's going to paste the effect on these clips. Take a look. I'm going to just jump my playhead forward. And you can see that the effect took place, right? So that's a really neat trick to do that. Now there's another way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and undo, Command Z. So now I got rid of it. I'm going to go back here to my first clip. And what I could do here instead, I'm going to select the clip, and instead of going in here and looking for the actual effects and Gaussian blur mosaic, what I could do instead is I can go ahead and just select the clip on the timeline, hit Command C, and it's not only going to copy the clip and keep it on a clipboard, but it's also going to save all the parameters involved. And now I'm going to go highlight the same exact clips here, and I'm going to move the clip ahead so you can see right there. And let's just choose that clip here, and I can go ahead and again highlight any clips as many clips as you want on timeline. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, instead of hitting Command V, because if you do hit Command V, it's going to paste the actual clip itself. That's not what we want to do. I want to paste the parameters or the attributes of what was contained in that clip. I'm going to right click or secondary click on my mouse, and there it is, paste attributes. You can see it right there at the top. If you select that, a paste attributes window will appear. And this gives me the option to paste over the attributes of the clip, not the clip itself. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that whatever's checked on is what's going to be pasted over. So let's just say I don't want to mess with anything of these parameters or attributes. Now, if it's identical, it won't matter. If the parameters or the attributes are the same, it won't matter. But just to be safe, I want to make sure that I turn off anything that I don't need, okay? I'm going to turn off everything that I don't need here. And the only thing I'm going to paste over is, let's just say I don't want to paste over the mosaic, just the Gaussian blur. I could turn off mosaic, keep Gaussian blur on. In fact, I'll just do both because I'll do the remove attributes as well. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to do both the Gaussian blur and mosaic, and you'll see that image change. And there you have it. And it changed it for all 3 of the clips that I've selected here. Now, what if I wanted to remove it? I could just dive in and individually and remove each one, or I could highlight all 3, right click, remove attributes. So now I'm going to do the opposite of paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check on the thing that I want to remove, which can be a little confusing. So I don't need to affect anything else. The only thing I want to remove is, let's say the mosaic. Let's just say the mosaic is the only thing I want to remove. So this is a little weird to sort of comprehend, but you want to check off the thing you do want to keep. You want to check on the thing you want to remove. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. It's a little bit of a brain twister there, but now this will now get rid of mosaic, the effect here. I'm going to hit OK. 3, 2, 1, and look. So now only the Gaussian blur exists. And what's cool is, remember those keyframes that I've set on the clip? Let me go back here. Let me just get rid of mosaic here for a second. Remember the keyframes where it dips in and out of the Gaussian blur? Well, I went ahead and it keeps that same keyframing that it originally was in the original clip. It maintains that throughout those other clips. So that's a really nice feature to when you copy and paste the attributes. Hope that gives you a good idea of how to apply effects on a single clip, but also multiple clips. Test it out, see what you think, and hopefully you get more comfortable with it.